Yep. I'll be honest, I hardly play Mage. I stick to the Knight most of the time. That Soul Shop class helps with that. Yep. Hey, ostenogesis. Or cartographer. Let's go ostenogesis. It's also a dwarf mage, so should be fun. Should be fine. Alright. Happy to max that out. Not gonna help me much this time, but good to have. Technically, it would be better for me to equip another res for this, but I'm gonna just stick with it as is. Alright. It's kind of funny. I see the question, what the statement is. Like, I see something pop up over my head, and then I look down and it actually appears in the chat. I have a question. If I change the kamikaze spirits to where you have to kill an enemy with your staff in order to get one, will they be more balanced and make them not rely on mana in order to attack? So yeah, definitely changing it to not rely on mana will help. The thing is, like, my concern is less about, like, the mana is a concern because it doesn't, like, it just doesn't coalesce with the game. Balance-wise, it's like, if spirits hunt down enemies, then it just, like, how do I explain it? Nothing seeks out targets in this game because it wants you to engage with it with them clearly. And, okay, well, I'm always going to have max HP. Nodbone doesn't help, so I guess we go Boxing Bell. It's going good, Malguin. Going good. Alright. Oh, no. Ooh. I bought the secret soul shop item, yes. And so it allows you to increase everything basically infinite, like indefinitely. Like there's a cap. So I still haven't decided what I want to, like for fun, I want to ramp up intelligence. But for if I want to like brag about getting all the most gold, I have to ramp up like every gold is highly connected to your health and vitality, so I'd have to ramp up that. I'm not sure I want to. One HP runs are always such an anxiety check for you. Yep. I can see how they could be stressful. My general theme is it's just like, I don't mean to be rude, but it's like this life is less valuable because it can go so easily. So because of that perspective, it's not an issue for me, but it's because of that perspective that's not an issue for me. Whew. Did you see the cap on gear and runes? Yes, +9 for each, which is insane. That's, yeah, double the amount. I should have mentioned it earlier, they do not auto-lock on targets. You have to fire them towards the target, and then if they're close enough, then they'll auto-lock. Well, there's your problem. Like, I mean, maybe it could be balanced, but again, it's just... I mean, at a certain point, every class is imbalanced in some way. So I guess I could see it working somewhat. It's just one of those things of, so I do like the idea of just like someone with this powerhouse attack, but I mean, boxers already have that. The KO punch is their massive powerhouse attack. It's this weird balancing act where you want every class to be distinct. Haven't they gutted armor runes and retaliation lately? I believe that retaliation has been nerfed, and armor has just kept getting altered because they don't know what they want to do with it. So, I wouldn't say that armor runes are gutted, but they're definitely not what they used to be. Oof. Retaliation just doesn't give life steal when it kills a mob anymore. Otherwise, it hasn't changed. Okay. Right, because they wanted to make sure that people weren't just, like, gaining more life than they were losing from getting hits. Retaliation, right, because people would get so much life steal and soul steal and stuff that people would just, like, they would run into enemies to kill them. And they would gain life from the endeavor. So that's what they were preventing. Ooh. Well, may I ask what you would change about the Necromancer class to make it more balanced and fun? Okay, so I'm going to start with the following statements. That is easier to critique a theme than, like, to recognize where something is wrong than try to build something that's perfectly right. Like, I feel like the problem is kind of fundamental to an extent, is my main issue. But again, like, obviously I'm not Solidor Games. I'm not the end-all, be-all deciding factor in this. Like, so, I guess I have to ask, what makes the souls distinct? I think here's the thing that I still need to ask. What makes the souls distinct? And the answer cannot be that they auto-lock onto enemies, or they target enemies. It has to be something else. Like, if it's damage, then cool. Now you need to ask, you need to figure out what makes it distinct. So if it's damage, you have to ask, cool, now how does it separate from the KO punch of the boxer? And generally you just have to figure out how your character is distinct from other classes. And one of the things I always try to do is I try to integrate the weapon and the talent together, if I can. So I'd never think of one without the other, basically. It's like, if it has some special unique trait, so for example, the Bard has some special unique trait with the all the like kick off objects sort of stuff. So they emphasize that, and just both the talent and the weapon emphasize this special theme. That's how the Bard does it distinct. The Ronin, class idea, the Kappa Knight. Just like a knight, except it's a little more comedic. You have to kill enemies in order to get them, depending on what your spell and the spirits. Depending on what your spell is that changes the spirits? Because the spell constantly changes, I feel like the spells should remain B. Like, even with the mage, they keep the spells together. So I think spells shouldn't be touched by this. So you have to kill enemies to get an attack that kills enemies. It would be useless against the boss. Well, I guess it's not useless against Two-Ball, but against the other bosses. By the way, I just want to check. Increase max HP by 0. But it said I took 0 damage! It said I took 0 damage! It said I take 0 damage! You jerk! You lied to me! It said I take 0 damage! It lied! And I had such a good ostenogesis run! I even got a rank up in Mage! It lied to me.